How was lunch, guys?
Good. Yummy.
Yummy. Okay, so what we're going to do today is talk about what happened in the beginning of your lunch. When you got there, what happened first? Someone tell me. Jade.
First, I got my food, and then they made me sit down.
Okay, so you got your food, then what happened? Anyone? After you got your food. What happened like in the middle of your lunch? Reagan?
We ate our food.
You ate it, and then what happened at the end? What happened at the end?
You throw away your trash.
You throw it away. You're done eating. Okay, so when you go to eat lunch, you have a beginning, and then there's a middle, and then there's an end, right? Okay, what about in a school day? What happens in the beginning of a school day? Florian?
You wake up.
You wake up. Okay, what are some things, maybe 2 things that happen in the middle of your school day?
Recess.
Recess, okay. Sylvia?
Math class.
Math class. And then Maya, what's the last thing at the end of your school day?
We go home.
You go home. Okay, so that's another example of something at the beginning, there's a middle part, and an end. Okay? Alright, so now we're going to read the story. Frog and Toad Together. Do you guys remember reading this story yesterday?
Yes.
We're going to read a new chapter today, and it's called Cookies. Alright? So who can tell me, who remembers who the characters in Frog and Toad are? Reagan?
The frog and the toad.
Frog and the Toad. Alright. So who remembers what a character is in a story from yesterday when we talked about what characters are? Why do stories need characters? Who are the characters in a story? Maya?
Characters do things.
They do things in the story, right? So in this story, we're going to read about what Frog and Toad do. Okay? Alright. The story is called Cookies. Toad baked some cookies. These cookies smell very good, said Toad. He ate one. Who likes to eat cookies? Everybody? Okay, good. Me too. And they taste even better, he said. So Toad ran to Frog's house. Frog, Frog, cried Toad. Taste these cookies that I've made.
Sharing.
Oh, look, there they are.
Yeah. So guys, who remembers when we talked about setting? What's a setting?
It's
Reagan?
the place.
It's the place. Who can tell me what the place is of this story? What is the setting? Toad
house.
ran to Frog's house.
Oh, Frog's house.
Frog's house. Right. Okay. Frog ate one of the cookies. These are the best cookies I have ever eaten, said Frog. Frog and Toad ate many cookies, one after another. You know, Toad, said Frog with his mouth full, I think we should stop eating. We will soon be sick. Has anyone here ever eaten so many cookies that they felt sick? What do you think is going to happen next if they keep eating cookies?
They're gonna throw up.
They might throw up. Any other possibilities?
Like a tummy ache.
A tummy ache? Okay, let's see what happens. You are right, said Toad. Let us eat one last cookie and then we will stop. Frog and Toad ate one last cookie. Do you think that's going to be the last cookie that they eat? No? Okay. There were many cookies left in the bowl. Frog, said Toad, let us eat one very last cookie and then we will stop. Frog and Toad ate one very last cookie. Do you think the very last one is going to be the last one?
No.
No. What's going to happen if they keep eating cookies?
They're gonna get sick.
We must stop eating, cried Toad as he ate another. Yes, said Frog, reaching for a cookie. We need willpower. Who here knows what willpower might mean? What do you think that could mean? They need willpower to stop eating the cookies. Any ideas, Florian?
They need strength.
Strength. Okay, that's a good possibility. Sylvia?
Control.
Control. Control and strength. All right, let's see. What is willpower, said Toad. Yeah, the same question as us. Willpower is trying hard not to do something that you really want to do, said Frog. You mean like trying not to eat all of these cookies? Asked Toad. Right, said Frog. So what was willpower? It involves strength. It involves control. Frog says it's trying hard not to do something that you really want to do, like eating cookies. We're going to remember that because it's one of our vocab words for later. Frog put the cookies in a box. There, he said, now we will not eat any more cookies. But we can open the box, said Toad. That's true, said Frog. Do you see him putting the cookies in the box? Do you think that's going to work? Do you think that they'll be able to stop eating cookies?
You should tape it.
You should tape it? What else could you do?
Tie it up.
Tie it up?
Bury it.
Frog tied some string around the box. There, he said, now we will not eat any more cookies. But we can cut the string and open the box, said Toad. That is true, said Frog. So now the cookies are in a box, but Toad doesn't think that's going to work. What do you think they're going to do based on this picture? What is that? Anyone know? What's that?
A ladder.
A ladder. Let's see what happens. Frog got a ladder. Good, Reagan. He put a box up on a high shelf. There, said Frog, now we will not eat any more cookies. But we can climb the ladder and take the box down from the shelf and cut the string and open the box, said Toad. That is true, said Frog. Do you think it's going to work if they put the cookies up on the shelf? Think they'll be able to stop eating them? Frog climbed the ladder and took the box down from the shelf. He cut the string and opened the box. What do you think he's going to do now?
Eat the cookies.
Eat the cookies? What was the problem that they were trying to solve by putting the box up high on the shelf?
They're trying not to eat the
Not
cookies.
to eat the cookies. Right, so that's the problem. And was this a solution to put the box on top of the shelf? No, why not? Because they could still eat the cookies? Alright, let's see what happens. Frog took the box outside. He shouted in a loud voice, "Hey birds, here are cookies!" Birds came from everywhere. They picked up all the cookies in their beaks and flew away. Now we have no more cookies to eat, said Toad sadly. Not even one. Yes, said Frog, but we have lots and lots of willpower. You may keep it all, Frog, said Toad. I am going to go home and bake a cake. That is the end of that chapter on cookies. Do you guys like the story?
Yes.
Yeah. So who can remember what happened in the beginning of the story? What happened in the beginning? We have our characters, Frog and Toad, and something happened when Toad came to Frog's house. What was he bringing?
He brought cookies.
He brought the cookies. Right, so that happened in the beginning. What are some things that might have happened in the middle? Maya?
They eat the cookies.
They ate the cookies. What else happened in the middle? Reagan?
Couldn't stop eating.
They couldn't stop eating. What was the last thing? What was the end of the story?
They gave the cookies to the birds.
They gave the cookies to the birds. You're right. So in this story, we have different events that progress from the beginning to the middle to the end. And as they progress, our characters had a problem. What was the problem in this story? Who remembers? Reagan?
They couldn't stop eating.
They couldn't stop eating. And so they had to find a solution. Right? And what was the solution? Jade said it. You said it earlier.
Oh, they gave the cookies to to the birds.
They gave the cookies to the birds, right. So there was a plot. That's called a plot in the story. When it starts in one place and your characters encounter a problem, and then there are some events that take place throughout the story, and then they try to find the solution. Okay? So now we're going to see if you guys can remember what happened and put the events of the story in order. Okay? So we're going to read these key sentences of what happened during the story, and then you guys are going to put them in order. Okay? So who can read this one? Frog. You guys can read with me.
Gave the cookies to the birds. Frog put the cookies in a box.
Good job, guys.
Frog put the box on a high shelf. Frog and Toad could not stop eating the cookies.
This one?
Toad baked cookies and brought them to Frog.
Okay. Are these sentences in the order that they happened?
No.
Can anyone volunteer and try to think about which one should go in the first event spot? Any ideas? Do we think it was this one? No. What one could it be?
This one.
Which one? You want to go get it and put it in the number 1 box?
Okay.
Above the 1? Nice. Alright. So first, Toad baked cookies and brought them to Frog. Then what happened? What was the problem that came from that? Sylvia?
Frog and Toad could not stop eating the cookies.
Is that what we think happened next?
No.
Yeah? No?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Sylvia, do you want to put the 2 on the sentence that you think's next? Alright. Who thinks they know what happened next? So after Toad baked the cookies and brought them to Frog, then Frog and Toad could not stop eating them.
Oh,
Reagan?
they put the cookies in a box.
They put the cookies in a box. That's a great detail to remember. Do you want to put number 3 on there? Great job. Okay, who thinks they know what happened next? Maya?
They put the box on a high shelf.
That's what I was gonna say.
Okay, good job, Jade. Good job, both of you. Go ahead, Maya. Put the 4 on the sentence. Nice. Okay, what was the last thing that happened? What was the solution? Jade?
Then the frog gave cookies to the
The
birds.
birds. Right.
And it's the last one.
Good job. All right, so now I'm going to hand out a worksheet.